Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Raleigh where a measles update has been announced. The Department of Health and Human Services say there have been 15 confirmed measles cases in the state since last December. Now, Dr. Kelly Kimple, the director of the Division of Public Health, saying, quote, "Measles is not a disease of the past. It is still present in our state. Staying up to date on vaccinations is a simple but powerful step we can all take to keep our communities healthy," end quote. Now, the Department of Health and Human Services says the 15 cases have spread to a half dozen counties. Buncombe County has 6 cases. Mecklenburg County has 3 cases. Polk County has 2 cases, Nash County has 1 case, and Rutherford County has 1 case. Now, state health officials say 14 of the cases are children, 17 and younger, and 1 is an adult. DHHS says 74% of those with measles have not been vaccinated. Measles is highly contagious and can live up to 2 hours in the air where an infected person was located. Some of the symptoms include high fever, which may spike to more than 104 degrees, cough, runny nose, red and watery eyes, looking like conjunctivitis, tiny white spots on the inner cheeks, gums, and roof of the mouth 2 to 3 days after symptoms begin, and a rash that is red, raised, and blotchy. Usually starts on the face, spreads to trunk, arms, and legs 3 to 5 days after symptoms begin. And measles can also cause complications including diarrhea, pneumonia, encephalitis, and the suppression of the immune system. Now, we also want to highlight a story that we brought to you yesterday of a missing man in Kinston. Well, again, do want to give you the update that missing man has been found. Jamie Stiles had last been seen on Friday at Doug Henry Chrysler on West Vernon Avenue. Police say that the 51-year-old man was found and is safe as of yesterday afternoon. And now for a look at your weather forecast. We are watching rain showers push their way into eastern North Carolina. It's been a soggy day, but a lot of that rainfall has certainly done a number on the snow outside. I keep looking to see if I can see any big mounds of snow left over in the parking lot. Right now, it's looking like a wet day. Doesn't look like the snow is still there. I'm sure there are certainly pockets of snow across eastern North Carolina still trying to hang on, but the more rain that falls, the more we are going to see it melt away. Not anticipating, again, much snow left over once we get done with these rain showers tonight. The problem is that we could be seeing ice coming up later on tonight. Here's a look at what we've got as of right now. Some light to moderate raindrops coming down across just about all of eastern North Carolina. Those raindrops, again, will transition into a light wintry mix coming up early tomorrow morning. We're talking around 3 to about 7 to 8 a.m. Now from 8 a.m. to around, I would say, noon, the moisture is gradually going to pull away from eastern North Carolina and it's going to dry us out. But between really kind of 3 a.m. to around sunrise, we could be accumulating potentially a tenth of an inch of ice. This is more an ice event than it is a snow event. While we could certainly see some snowflakes come down, anticipating about a dusting. It's not going to be what we just got done with this past weekend. And with this obviously being more of an ice event, slick roads are going to be the main concern moving into tomorrow morning. Now, air temperatures have already started to come down. We were in the mid 40s just a couple hours ago. Here we are at about 3 o'clock, and most of us in the upper 30s to low 40s. Those of you in Beaufort are probably raising your hand saying, Charlie, our number says 48. We're doing all right. Well, compared to everybody else, yes. Beaufort right now is certainly enjoying a little bit more heat than the rest of the East. But everybody is going to be warming up once we get into next week. In fact, everybody's going to be warming up once we kind of get into the weekend, or kind of holding steady. We'll call it holding steady for the weekend, because it's largely going to be seeing air temperatures in the low to mid 40s. But compared to what we're dealing with coming up for tomorrow and what we've been looking at the past several days, that is still a warm-up. Now, current winds blowing out of the northeast starting to pick up speed around the Albemarle Sound, looking at a 15-mile-per-hour sustained breeze in Elizabeth City, 10 miles per hour in Manteo. And those winds are only going to bring in more of that chill, more of that cold air that's required to kind of take the raindrops and convert them over into potentially some sleet stones or snowflakes. Here's what we've got, but that low makes a pretty clean exit from eastern North Carolina. Does not spend a lot of time lingering around our coast, which of course is going to help take that moisture out and give us more of a drier forecast as we head into Friday. But here's a more zoomed in look at the European model, which has been more accurate over the past 2 weeks in projecting low pressure movements and rainfall totals. This is what we've got as we head towards 1 a.m. Note that rain snow line stretching from about Elizabeth City all the way back down towards Raleigh. From there, that rain snow line is going to make a very, very slow move southward across the east, opening us up to more opportunities for freezing rain, sleet, and a few snowflakes. Again, this is looking like a freezing rain ice event versus a snow event. There will be some flakes, but we're not going to see what we just got done with this past weekend. And as we head into your Thursday afternoon, everything turns dry. May end up seeing a couple breaks of sunshine, probably not much. We'll see more sunshine coming up on Friday than what we're going to have for your Thursday. But I know there's probably more than a few of you out there who are itching for a little bit more vitamin D in your life. You will get that in full coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this Super Bowl weekend. Before we get to your 8-day forecast, again, want to give you a zoomed in look of exactly what it's going to look like as that system moves through. This is a picture by the time we get to Thursday morning, tomorrow morning. Air temperatures along the coast still above freezing, but as you get closer to I-95, you're seeing more of the upper 20s to low 30s sitting there, and that, of course, is enough to create a freezing rain threat across eastern North Carolina, particularly for those of you watching along and west of Highway 17. But it is, again, going to be a fairly quick shot of wintry mix. It's not going to be sticking around for long. As we head towards 2, 3, 4 p.m., everything dries out again, and with air temperatures returning to the upper 30s, anything that has frozen will likely thaw out and melt away as we head through your Thursday afternoon. So unlikely that we're going to be seeing a lot of slick spots on the roads early Friday morning. If we do see something, stick around, linger on the roads Thursday evening, those air temperatures will fall quickly and drop right on past freezing. I think by the time we get to around 8 to 9 p.m. Thursday night into Friday morning, if anything is on the road at that point, it will refreeze, and that could lead to some slick spots. However, I don't think we're going to be seeing too many of those pockets just because we'll have, I would say, around 3-4 hours of dry weather from the last either raindrop, some piece of sleet, or snowflake falls Thursday afternoon to when those air temperatures drop below freezing Thursday night. From there, we turn our attention to the weekend. 43 degrees Friday, 43 Saturday, 40 degrees on Sunday. Of course, Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, you can catch the game on WITN this year. Monday, we are warming up, low 50s, mid 50s, though, for Tuesday and Wednesday. And that is close enough to our seasonal average to say, you know what, guys, we made it through quite the cold snap that lasted 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, depending on where you're located. And we're finally getting back to an average looking temperature forecast for kind of mid-February coming up next week. Something to look forward to, especially with all the sunshine that's going to be around. Well, that's all we have time for today's 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.